大家好，欢迎来到跟陈老师学汉语。第一课，你好。In this lesson, we'll learn 5 short Chinese conversations, and then we'll learn what is Chinese Pinyin and what is it used for. Last, we'll learn initials, finals, and tones of Pinyin. The first conversation. 你好，你好。The first new word, 你, its pronoun, means singular, you. 好 is an adjective that means good or fine. 你好 together, literally it means you good. It is how Chinese people greet each other when they meet for the first time. It means hello in English. In English, you can say hello to a stranger or friend, but Chinese, 你好, you can only say 你好 to a stranger or someone you do not know very well. That's the difference. The second conversation. 您好，你们好。您 is pronoun. It's a polite way to say you. In English, you does not have a meaning of expressing polite. But in German, the word Sie is like the Chinese word Nin to express polite you. Here you can find not all expressions can be directly translated from one language to another language. This is the part that you need to pay more attention on. 你们 is also a pronoun, means plural you. The third conversation. Hello, hello. The word hello is from Western language. It means hello in English, but it sounds like hello in German. This expression is most used by young generation who was born after the 1980s. The fourth conversation. Hi. Hi. Also, hi is from Western language, and also it is most used by young generations. The last conversation. 对不起，没关系。对不起 is a verb, means to be sorry. In this conversation, it means sorry or I'm sorry. 没关系 it means that's okay, it doesn't matter. Ni hao. You can see above the Chinese characters, there are alphabet letters. They are Chinese Pinyin. What are they used for? First, it is used to type Chinese characters. The Chinese typing system are based on Chinese Pinyin. You type Pinyin, and then you select the characters that you want to type. Secondly, it is used to pronounce Chinese characters. It is just like the phonetic symbols of the English. You look at it, you know how the characters are pronounced. A pinyin is usually composed of an initial, a final, and a tone mark. Let's first look at the initials. We have 23 initials in total. Next are finals, and there are 33 finals in total. If we combine all the initials, what are we gonna get? We'll get all Chinese pinyins in one table. Yes, all Chinese pinyins. You can find that there are blanks in the table. That means some of the combinations does not exist in Chinese. In Chinese, there are 5 tones: the first tone, the second tone, the third tone, the fourth tone, and the light tone. So, if you are able to read all these pinyins in the first tone, the second tone, the third tone, the fourth tone, and the light tone, then that means you can read all Chinese characters. In this lesson, we'll be learning the first part of the initials and the finals. Initials, part 1. The letter B is pronounced B in Chinese. It's pronounced like B in bike. The letter P is pronounced P in Chinese. It's like you pronounce P in pay. The letter M is pronounced M in Chinese. It's like you pronounce M in mom. The letter F is pronounced F in Chinese. It's like you pronounce F in father. The letter D is pronounced D. It's like you pronounce D in day. The letter T is pronounced T. It's like you pronounce T in time. The letter N is pronounced N in Chinese. It's like you pronounce N in no. The letter L is pronounced L in Chinese. It's like you pronounce L in like. The letter G is pronounced G in Chinese. It's like you pronounce G in go. The letter K is pronounced K in Chinese. It's like you pronounce K in key. The letter H is pronounced H in Chinese. It's like how you pronounce H in high. The letter J is pronounced J in Chinese. The letter Q is pronounced Q in Chinese. The letter X is pronounced S in Chinese. In the first part of the initials, only the last 3 initials that you don't have the same pronunciation in English. The rest are just the same. And I'll explain how to pronounce the last 3 initials in detail in lesson 3. Finals, part 1. Just like the initials, you can almost find all the sound of the finals in English. The letter A is pronounced A in Chinese. It's like how you pronounce A in father. The letter O is pronounced O in Chinese. It's like how you pronounce it in boring. The letter E is pronounced E in Chinese. It sounds like how you pronounce the letter A in about. The letter I is pronounced E in Chinese. It sounds like how you pronounce the letter E in she. The letter U is pronounced U in Chinese. It sounds like how you pronounce the letter W in wow. This letter is composed of a letter U with 2 dots above it. It is pronounced Yu in Chinese. We don't have the same letter in English, but we have it in German. and Chinese pronunciation is the same as the German pronunciation. Like in the German word über, which means about, the final ai is pronounced I in Chinese. It's like you hear the letter Y in Y. The final EI is pronounced A. It sounds like how you pronounce the English letter A. The final UI is pronounced we. The final AO is pronounced ao in Chinese. It sounds like how you pronounce AO in Chao. The final OU is pronounced O. It sounds like how you pronounce the English word O. The final IU is pronounced U. The final IE is pronounced Ye. This final is pronounced Yue. The final ER is pronounced R. It sounds like the American pronunciation of the letter R. The final AN is pronounced an, like you hear the sound in one. The final EN is pronounced N. It sounds like EN in when, but in the Chinese pronunciation, the letter E is pronounced pretty short. You barely hear it. I'll read both the Chinese pronunciation and the English pronunciation so you can tell the difference. Chinese, N. English, N. You can find the letter E in EN is pronounced E English, but in Chinese, it's a little bit different. The final IN is pronounced in. It sounds like how you pronounce the English word in. The final UN is pronounced when in Chinese. It sounds like the English word when. The last final is pronounced yuan. Okay, I think you won't have much problems pronouncing them. One thing I would like to notice you. In Chinese, each initial and final has only one pronunciation. Only one pronunciation. Please remember that. Now, let's learn Chinese tones. Do we have tones in English? Sure, we have tones in English, but English is not a tonal language. The pitch changes in words do not change meanings. As we speak, our voices are constantly changing from one pitch to another. It often indicates the feelings and attitudes of the speaker. Chinese is a tonal language. Tone refers to the pitch changes made to affect the meanings of the word or phrases. There are 5 tones in Chinese. The first tone. Literally, it means the first sound. It starts high and maintains the same high pitch during the whole process. So, it sounds high and flat. It is also known as the high-level tone. We've learned 没关系. Guan is pronounced in the first tone. It sounds like how you pronounce the letter A in he's my father, the letter O in she's my mother, the letter U in I'm in a hurry. The second tone is also known as the rising tone. Apparently, it rises in pitch. It starts from a lower pitch and ends at a slightly higher pitch. We have learned 您好 in the second conversation. 您 is pronounced in the second tone. The second tone sounds like how you pronounce the letter O in is she your mom? The letter O in you wanted to go? The letter I in is he nice? In English, the rising tone is usually used at the end of a question. but in Chinese, it's not always like that. So don't be worried it might sound like a question if it's in a non-question sentence. It's just how it's supposed to be in Chinese. Please get used to it. The third tone starts at a neutral tone, then dip to a lower pitch before ending at a higher pitch. It is the most difficult tone in Chinese, and it might need some extra practice than other tones. First, you don't have it in English. Second, it sometimes gets modified or changed in real life speaking, like it can change into the second tone and the fourth tone. There is a teacher who has explained how to pronounce the third tone very well on YouTube. I'll leave the link in the descriptions below so you can check it out. The fourth tone. 对不起. 对 is read in the fourth tone. The fourth tone falls in pitch. It starts the syllable at a slightly higher than neutral pitch, then goes quickly and strongly downward. That's why it's also known as the high falling tone. Don't be afraid, it might sound angry this way. It's just how it is supposed to be. In English, we also have a falling tone. The Chinese fourth tone sounds exactly like the English falling tone, like the letter O in let's go, the blue part in I'm sure, the letter O in it's a dog. The neutral tone. The neutral tone is not a real tone. That's why there is no pinyin fifth tone. All characters read in neutral tone have an original tone. The neutral tone is only a modification. The neutral tone sounds light, vague, and short. It doesn't have any tone marks above it. You just write the final by itself. We've learned 没关系. Xi is read in the light tone. The original tone of Xi is the first tone and is pronounced Xi. In English, we also have light tone, like the letter A in mama, the letter Y in Johnny, the letter A in Hiya. Okay, that's all about the Chinese tones. I hope you will get used to the tones very soon. Now, let's look at the pinyin table. They are all in the first tone. I'll read the first row for you. 八 波 B 不 掰 杯 包 憋 边 班 奔 宾 帮 崩 冰 标 边. I hope that is not so hard for you. I've read all the Chinese pinyins in the first tone, second tone, third tone, and fourth tone in separate videos. I'll leave the link in the descriptions down below so you can check them out. Okay, that's all for lesson 1. 谢谢，下节课再见. If you like my video, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe the channel.